So sizing units. So this is the next topic which I want to cover you. So sizing units means the size elements. So the sizing. So how you will be giving the sizing. So this is also one of the important concept when we are trying to understand it. Before going to the layout design and all those things, so we need to know how we will be giving these all sizing units. These are called as a sizing units. So 200 pixel of size we are giving, right? These are called as a units. Let's try to learn different types of units which we will be having. So first one is, what I want to tell you is, for example, let's say that you will be having a font size of 20 pixel, let's say. And sometimes you will be mentioning here line height of 1.5. Okay. So we will be mentioning this one as a line height of 1.5. Can you tell me exactly how much pixel this one will take, line height? Can anybody tell me how much length, how much pixels it will take? 1.5 means we have given a something like a numeric notation, decimal notation we have given 1.5. Here we can able to see that this is a 20 pixel of the length. 20, the font size will be 20 pixel. So we are able to understand. Sometimes here we will be able to see, instead of giving something like 10 pixel or something 20 pixel, if you give means okay, fine. But in some scenarios you'll be able to see 1.5 or 1, like directly numerical notation you'll be able to see it. So this representation is nothing but, so we are telling that line height you should take around 1.5 times the font size of the present element. 1.5 times means, so here it will be having 2 times means 20 plus 20, 40. So 1.5 means around 32 pixel. I don't know exact. So 32 pixel or 30 pixel maybe it could be. Okay. So 30 pixel. So here line height we are trying to tell that it should be around 30 pixel, 1.5 times. So exactly that much height we are trying to tell. So for example, if you try to see the output for this one, see the output we are seeing the same thing only, right? Let's close these all things. So here if you try to see the line height for this one, I don't know whether we are able to see it or not. So this one we are having 1.5 and computed, if you go here in this one, so what could be the line height for this one, it will show. See here you are able to understand, right? This one is taking 30 pixel. So how come this one is taking 30 pixel? 1.5 times. So that means whenever we have mentioned the font size, it should be 20 pixel, then it has to taken 1.5 times. If I mention this one as a 24 pixel, how much this one will be? Around 36, I think 36 or 34, I didn't remember exactly. Yeah, so 1.5 times means it is taking 36 pixel. Okay, so like this it will take. So 1.5 means it should be around 1.5 times the present font size of that element it will take. So this numeric representation you will be able to give in opacity. So like this you will be able to give line height. So some of the things are there which we will be mentioning exactly the numeric notation. It will take the so 1.5 means 150% of the elements computed pixel font size. So that is the about that one. And the next representation which you will come more often. So these are relative representations. Okay. So 1.5 means this value will not be fixed all the time. This value will change according to the font size, and depending on another element, this 1.5 value will be changing. Exact value will be changing. And the another one, relative one, which you want to understand is the percentage. So here you are having a parent. So here you have a parent. Okay. And in this one I am mentioning this one as a P element. So this one is a child element. We know that this one is a child element. So here div will be having a width of 300 pixel and a height of 100 pixel. Okay. So I am having a width of 300 pixel and a height of 100 pixel. So this is the width of 300 pixel, height of 100 pixel. Now I want to give the child selector. So child element. So div, inside the div P, I will be giving something around width is equal to 50%. I will be giving. Okay. Now what could be the width of this one? P element. So here the parent element is having 300 pixel and the width I have given it as a 50 pixel. So can anybody tell me what could be the width of this one? Paragraph element. Okay, so that is exactly, it will be 150 pixels, 150 things. So that means the width of this child element depends on the parent elements. Relative to the parent element, the width of this it will depends. So the parent of the element of the width is nothing but 300 pixel. So now when it is the parent is 300 pixel. Now when you go to the child element, it will consider that okay, I need to take 50% of the width of the parent. So the total parent width is around 300 pixel. I want to take only the 50% of the width, then it will take around 50%. 50% means 300 by 50 by 2, so half of the 300 pixels. So it will take 150 pixel. If you try to see the output, the same thing happens here. So this is how the percentage actually works. So we are taking this one as something like the layout uses the default box sizing content box. So box sizing content box means it will calculate with the content box, means it will be having around, you will be having, right? So for example, here this one is having 302 by 102. Now this one is having around 152. Okay, so the computed value, if you try to see, where is it computed? Yeah, here you are having 150 is the width of this one. Sorry. So 300 is the width of this one. The total width of this one is something around 302. So it should take 151. Don't think like that. So here the box sizing is border content box because of that reason. So only the content box it will try to take. For example, if you mention this one as a border box, what will happen? Now if you try to see, so here it is 298, and for this one it is around 147 only, 147 only, 149. Total it will be 149. Why? Because for this one it is only 298. The content of this one is only 298. So 298 divided by 2 it will take means around 149 it will be. So that is the reason it is taking 149, but inside this content it is 147. Why? Because it needs to arrange one pixel to the border. So like this the changes, the width and all those things also, percentage also changes if you change it to border box. Okay, so this is one of the important concepts. So assuming with a content box means always the content width will be 300 pixel only. If you mention padding, border and all those things, it will be plus it will be calculated. When you mention this one as a border box, then 300 pixel means it is a combination of width, border and the padding. So that means the total content it will be around 298 pixel only here. 298 pixel. Okay, 298 pixel only. So here 50% means it is around 149. And for this one also I have arranged this one as a border of 2 pixel. So that means 1 pixel plus 1 pixel 2. So here the content will be around 157 plus 2. Like this you will be having if you have a box sizing of border box. So this is about one of the concept about the thing. So we are discussing about this percentage width, right? So this is about these are all relatives actually, relative to that one. So for example, if I try to apply margin top as 50%, then the margin top, how much it will apply? 149 pixel. So that okay, border box we are having, right? So let's try to remove the border box in order to avoid the confusion. So this one around 300 pixel. Oh, for this one I am applying. Okay, for the child element, if you apply margin top 50% means for margin top also it will take the exactly 150 pixel here. The margin top it will apply. So like this, the percentage, the sizing units applies for the percentage thing. Automatically it will be calculated according to the parent. So these are some of the relative links which we will be using. We will try to learn one by one also. Now these are all directly which we are using 50%, 1.5. So these things are directly the number we have used it. We haven't used any unit beside this one. Unit means nothing but I will try to tell you. Unit or dimension. I can say it as a dimension also. We haven't used any dimension. 50% means in all the scenarios we know about this 15%. And we know that numeric 1.5. So these two values we know about this one. But if you mention a dimension to this one, something like pixel, EMs, these are called as a dimension or units, you can say it. So we need to know about those things. 1 REM, 1 EM, these are all called as in dimensions actually. So now there are two different types of dimensions and lengths actually, we can say it. two different types of things in there. First is an absolute dimensions, and another one is an relative dimension. The absolute dimension means the absolute length also we can say it. So we can predict that length of that one. Okay, we can predict the length. For example, let's say that I want to give, let's remove this margin top. I want to give width of around 50 centimeters. Okay, I want to give width of 50 centimeters. This is an absolute length. So that means whatever may be the scenarios, whatever may be the conditions and all those things applied, centimeter is a fixed level of length. So in the scale, how much you will be having the 50 centimeters, in the same scenario 50 centimeters is a fixed level. So now if you try to see here 50 centimeter means all the scenario, all the time it will be this 50 centimeter scale, how much this one it will be having like that. That is a fixed level. So there are different types of absolute dimensions or absolute lengths will be there in the CSS. First one is the centimeters, you can say it as centimeters, and another one is a millimeters. Out of those things, popular one I am trying to tell you. You can also have a Q also, quarter millimeters you will be having, and another one is inches, in inches. So you can also have the point, so PT. So sometimes you'll be able to see the point. Point means something like 1/72 part of the inch. Okay, these are all calculations, so there is no need for you to remember. So next one is the pixel. Okay, these are all fixed level, fixed absolute. So you are using pixel means, so you need to understand that these are all fixed level of length. So pixel means how much it will be is 1/96 part of the inch. Okay, so these are all fixed one. So these are the absolute lengths which you will be using. Apart from this one, you will be having the relative lengths also. So the relative lengths is nothing but what I can say is relative length. So this one will behave according to the relative to the some other thing. So just like we have discussed the 50% relative to the parent, how it is behaving, like this we have another dimensions, that is nothing but a relative dimensions. First one is the EM. Okay, we'll discuss about this EM relative to the font size. Okay, 1.5 EM means it will be 50% larger than the base font size it will be. And next one is there something like we can have, most probably we'll be using REM. Okay, so root EMs, this one is called as a root EM, font size of the root element. So normally defaultly the browser will apply the font size of around 16 pixel. The base font size always it will be 16 pixel, the browser will apply. So if you want you can change it, that's a 16 pixel root element. So just I want to, the root element is nothing but the HTML. HTML is the root element. So for that one the browser automatically applies this one as 16 pixel. If you want you can also change that base font size also. According to that base font size it will apply. So for example if you try to say 1.5 REM means, so it will be base font size 150%. For example if we are having 16 pixel means it will be around 24 pixel or something like that. Okay, so 1.5 REM means base font size is, if it is 16, if it is 20 means then it will be around, I can assume it will be 30. Okay, like this it will be having. So these are relative units. Apart from this one we also have another type, that is nothing but a viewport. Okay, viewport relative units. So these are nothing but we can say it as VW, viewport width. I will try to show you the demo also. Another one is viewport height. So these are nothing but one of the concepts which we'll be using more often. We have another things also, view minimum, view max, VI, VA, VB. So those are things are out of the scope. So which are very important, I am trying to tell you. So now let's try to see these are all different types of sizing units available in the CSS. Let's try to see absolute lengths. You understood about this one, centimeters, millimeters, and all those things are direct attack. So those are direct thing. Now let's try to see about the relative units. First one is the EM. So here we are having the font. So for example, let's say that I am having a div. Okay. Oh, sorry. This one is a style, right? So let's try to see. I am not applying any styles for this one, div parent. Let's see how much the font size will be for this one. If I try to refresh this page. Okay. So if you try to refresh this page and if you go to the body, margin 8 pixel or something like that. Okay, let's remove this one all. So if you go to the parent element here, so what will be the font size for this one? Let's try to take it. So here if you try to take the default font size for this one, here is this font size, where this gone? Yeah, here I have shown you, right? 16 pixel is the default font size. So if you don't apply any font size, it will take the root element font size, which is nothing but a 16 pixel. So this is the 16 pixel of this font size. Now I will try to apply for this parent. Okay. So here I will apply something like div parent. Okay, this is div means nothing but here I will apply font size of 1 em. Okay, I have applied it as 1 em. So 1 em means nothing but it is equal to the parent font size, that is nothing but a 16 pixel. Okay, this one is a parent font size, that is 16 pixel. If you try to see the output for this parent, the output is the same thing. And if you try to see the font size, still it is 16 pixel only, but it is in the bold nature. Why? Because we have edited 1 em means it is 16 pixel it is trying to take. Now let's say that I have applied this one as 1.5 em. Okay. Then what is this one? It is taking 24 pixel. Okay. So this is taking as a 24 pixel. For example, let's say that we are having a paragraph element. Okay. So what I will try to apply is for this one I will try to apply 1 em for this one. For the child element I am trying to apply 1 em. Let's see what could be the output for this one. So how much it is taking? The 1 em means for this one it is taking it as 24 pixel. Why it is taking 1 em as 24 pixel? The parent is having a 24 pixel and relative to that parent. So this one, for this one 1 em has been changed to, here 1 em means 1 em means to its root element. So root element means parent element. It is 16 pixel. But here the parent element for this paragraph element, the parent element closest to parent element. So inheritance concept only it will comes here. The closest parent element is having around the base font size as 1.5 em. So that means it has been calculated to 24 pixel. So that means here 1 em has become 24 pixel, not 16 pixel. Okay. So it should be, it is around 24 pixel. So that means this parent element is having 24 pixel, that is 1.5 em. And now this time the paragraph element for this one the font size will become 24 pixel as the 1 em. 1.5 em is 24 into, so 1.5 times you can assume it. So this is about the relative thing. Now for example, if I mention this one as an rem, okay, I have mentioned this one as an rem. Now this time one rem, if I mention this one, instead of taking it the closest parent, it will take the root element. So the root element for this one, the style is around 16 pixel. Okay, so the style is around 16 pixel. Now if you try to see the output for this paragraph element, this time this 1 rem means it has become 16 pixel. For this parent it is around, why this parent it was removed? Parent I didn't upload. Okay, some problem, some error size came, I think. Yeah. So for parent it is 1.5 em means it will take around 24 pixel, whereas this one I have mentioned it as an 1 rem instead of using 1 em. So now this time it will become 16 pixel. So like this the representation will be. So this is the difference between em and an rem. So this one is mainly we will be using this one for the responsive nature. When we try to apply the responsive nature in our CSS with the font sizes, we use these EMs and the REMs. So almost all the time we need to play with the EMs and the REMs only. So pixels and all those things. So if you have a specific meaning for that one, absolute length, then only we can use this absolute length in the CSS. Other than that, EMs and the REM is only the recommended format which we will be trying to use in the CSS for the response. In order to achieve the responsive nature in the font size, we will use this EMs and the REMs. And viewport width and viewport height, you people already know. Viewport width means what is the viewport I am trying to see. This is completely viewport. Okay, this is this viewport. This entire browser is a viewport. Width means the total width of this one. So viewport width means the total width. Height means the total viewport height up to here and up to the bottom. So this is the viewport width and the viewport height we will be having. So for example, let's say that I will apply for this div border 1 pixel solid black. I have applied here. Now if you try to see the border for this one, So this is taking height of this much only. So as it is for div is a block level element, it will take the complete width. Now I want to take the complete, how much browser is having the total length. Here that much space I need to take it. So then I can mention something like height. So one viewport height, I can mention it like this. Now if you try to see the output, oh sorry, you need to mention 100. Okay, so one part of the viewport, 100 viewport height. So if you take it this one, so it will take the complete viewport height. So this one is having borders and all those things. Because of that reason, so we got the scrolling. So complete viewport height. So how much viewport height this screen is there, browser screen is there, we are able to see it, viewport height, that much viewport height it will be applied. So this is all about the different types of sizing units which you will be having in the CSS.